going to give you a little quick rundown on my channel. I was asked by I'm an Invader to tell you a little bit about my channel and what pops I like the most, why I started collecting, how many pops I have in my collection, and like I said, a little bit about the channel itself. Well, the reason I started collecting was this little guy right here, hashtag Aiden, mini hashtag. About January we started collecting. He's always collected stuff from Legos and minifigs, stuff like that. So he wanted to get some pops. And I was also getting pops for my nephew Sean around Christmas time. So we started getting a few ourselves in January, and it just blew up out of proportion. But he wants to share his favorite pop with y'all. And his favorite pop out of his collection is Hawkeye Walgreens exclusive, which we got from our buddy Mike over at Warmonger. Can you tell him why this is your favorite?
Because it's my favorite superhero.
It's his favorite because it's his favorite superhero. So his favorite is Hawkeye from Endgame, the Walgreens exclusive. So that's Aiden's favorite pop. And I'm going to get into more about the channel right after this. Alright, and we're back. So a little bit of why we started collecting. Aiden was born with arthrogryposis, which is a contracture of the joints, which affects him from his waist down. He can't ride bikes and stuff yet. I never put limits on him. He was told by doctors he would never walk when he was born, and at 2 years of age, he started walking by himself. So I don't ever put no restrictions on him, but since he doesn't go outside riding bikes, climbing trees, and stuff like that, he started collecting. So when he decided he wanted to try some pops, of course I jumped in on that too, because we used to do, well, we still do, keep and breed ball pythons as well. That was our first adventure, and now we're into pops. So that's just a little bit of why we started collecting. But I have right now, total with all my collection, my fiance's and my son's, we're somewhere around like 270, 280 amount of pops. But I did pick out two of my favorite pops. It's hard to only pick two. I have a whole bunch, but one of my favorite pops is one I just recently acquired from my Pop King Paul mystery box, and that is the 2-pack from Game of Thrones. Love this pop. So happy I got that top grail. But the other one is I really like, because I'm a big horror fan and a lot of my pops are horror related, would be Twisty from American Horror Story. I just really love the design and style of this pop. It's a great pop. And as to about our channel, I do a lot of unboxings and hauls and stuff like that I get, and try to show off some of my love for pops with y'all. I like to share what I have with others, and I really enjoy the feedback from everyone else. It's been great. I just started my channel back on May 1st. I've been collecting since about January, the beginning of January-ish. And like I said, we're currently sitting around 270, 280 pops in the collection. That's not including mystery minis and all the other stuff that comes with it. But I do want to do a big shout out to I'm an Invader for doing this. This is very awesome of you. I appreciate being part of this and being asked to do this. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and me and hashtag Aiden will catch you next time. Later.
Hope you're having a great day. I want to just take a few minutes and talk about what got me into collecting toys / Funko Pops in particular. So, I think I mentioned the story before on the live, but I'll cover it again. Growing up in my parents' house, it was pretty difficult as a child. My brothers and my sister, we all had a hard time growing up there, and it wasn't a pleasant experience. So my dad thought toys was a waste of money. He didn't want to spend any money on toys, so we got a bunch of clothes for Christmas. The only time we would get presents was during Christmas or our birthday. And back then, I mean, we're talking a long time ago. Back then, the Star Wars figures were coming out, and I just wanted so many of these toys. They're awesome. What kid doesn't want toys, right? So I would always be told no. My brothers told no. I mean, we did have some toys. We did have some, but it was nothing compared to what other children had. And it's not about being spoiled or not spoiled. That's not the lesson. The lesson is I just didn't get any toys. And my dad thought it was a waste of money, so he just saved his money in the bank, and which is fine for some people. But yeah, so I just never grew up with toys. I collected a lot of stuffed animals. Back then, they're called stuffed animals. Today, they're called plushies. And it would get to a point where I couldn't use a G.I. Joe figure versus a G.I. Joe figure, and, you know, like most boys do, and they fight each other. I had to use a stuffed animal versus a stuffed animal and have them communicate. So I used to make the stuffed animals talk and go through all that stuff. So, because that's all that was given to me. Now, this isn't a sad story. The purpose of this video is to let you guys know that inspired me. Once I was able to make enough money to start collecting toys, start buying toys for myself, something I never got when I was a kid, it turned into what I have today. I've been collecting toys since 2010, and today I have over 2,000 Funko Pops. That is not including the rock candy. That is not including the vinyl 2-packs or 3-packs. That is not including Hikari. That is not including mystery minis. That is not including bobbleheads. That is not including wacky wobblers. That is not including Dorbs. That is not including keychains. As you can see, I have quite a bit of a collection just by saying those words. So it led to, I don't mind showing it to you, it led to this. It led to that. It led to all of this. And I became obsessed with having enough toys in my life to make, to really make me happy, because that inner child is the most important part of all of our lives. And when you can tap, I always say this, if you can tap into that inner child, you are tapping in to the purest part of your soul. And so that's what I end up with. And then there's a closet full of toys. So tapping into my inner child is the most important thing for me. Having the toys, buying these toys, collecting these toys, appreciating these toys, loving these toys has opened up the inner child in me. And when the inner child is open, that is the innocence of a human being. Children are not born with hatred. Children are not born racist. Children are not born with bad habits. This is all these things they acquire through learning, through watching, through observing, through listening. So when you can reach that inner child of yourself, that is the best version of you. And so I surround myself every day with things that bring out the best version of me. So that is why I collect Funko Pops. And I will continue collecting Funko Pops till the day I die. And pass them on to my family and the next generation, hopefully in the next generation. And I hope these pops and these toys that I collect, action figures, everything that I collect, I hope it all pays off and brings love and joy to somebody else in my family when I one day pass. But all of these have opened up my inner child that I didn't get to have when I was a kid. So that's what inspired me to buy toys. Started with Batman a long time ago, 9 years ago. It started with Batman, and since that, it's skyrocketed. So that's it, guys. That's why I collect Funko Pops. That's why I will continue to collect Funko Pops, because your inner child is the most purest part of your soul. And I connect with my inner child on a daily basis thanks to all of these beautiful toys that I collect. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hello Funko fans! We are on I'm an Invader's channel. I'm Allison, aka PopKat33, and let's get started. So Angelica asked me to come onto her channel today to talk about why I started collecting Funko Pops and why I love them. So I started collecting Funko Pops back in 2011, right when they came out. I had been collecting toys for quite some time. I started out as a Barbie collector. I had like 200 Barbies, and I really loved Barbie a lot. and then I got into Webkins and Build-A-Bear, and I've just always loved collecting toys. They really, you know, remind me of that childhood innocence and spark of happiness. So that is why I started collecting Pops, and I just started collecting things that I really liked. I collected all of my favorite characters from franchises. I don't really collect full franchises, just the favorite character. And if there's multiple Pops of that favorite character, then I will collect all of those. So as you can see, it has grown quite a bit in the past 8 years. I had about 6 Funko Pops until like last November, and then I started getting into PopTube, which is all of us, all of the people who love Funko Pops, and I started seeing everyone's videos and unboxing, and it got me really excited. And so I started joining chat rooms and live streams and just talking to all of you. You are all so fun, and I love to hang out with you guys. I love to just talk about things that we love, share giveaways, just geek out over everything that we have come to love so much about Funko. So I also was asked to share my favorite Funko Pop, so I couldn't pick just one, so I picked 2 Funko Pops, and one of them is from my original collection that was my second Funko Pop ever. So it is the Wicked Witch of the West. She does not have a box anymore because it's been 8 years and she shed her box because I am an out-of-box collector, but I keep those exclusives in the box. So I have Wicked Witch, and then my second one that I picked is from my new wave of collecting and my Funko Pop friends. So I got this from Forever Freaky Funko, and it was a gift. He just gave it to me out of the goodness of his heart, and so this reminds me of how much I love the PopTube community and how great all of you are, because you can do this sort of thing with just complete goodness in your heart and just giving out love. So that is why I love the Pop community, and I just want to say to spread kindness to everyone, because, you know, we're all just trying out there and we all just want to love things from our childhood. So keep going and keep collecting. Have a fantastic day.
Alright everyone, this is the Luau, and this is a special video for I'm an Invader. So, she got a hold of me, asked me to do a short video, show you my favorite Pop, why I made a channel, and what started me in collecting. So I'll save the Pop for the end. So what started me collecting, I think just all the iconic characters that Funko Pop was making was probably always piqued my interest. Ad icons being the #1, and some movies because it would take me back to my childhood. And that's probably the big thing. You know, the ad icons just remind me of great things as a childhood, from, of course, Tony the Tiger and Trix and Boo Berry and all that kind of stuff. That was just sort of stuff I really loved. I loved the ad icons, and that's what really started the whole thing, and then it just grew from there to different genres and different things. So that's that. What started me to make a channel? That's really tough. Honestly, probably watching franchise kicks and Clint is what made me start having the interest of maybe I could do the channel. I think it'd be kind of fun to do reviews, say my opinion. Maybe someone would want to, you know, value my opinion. And then it went from shoes to Pops to some clothing, and now where it's mostly Pops and mystery boxes. It's so much fun making mystery boxes. That was another one of my early videos, was a mystery box. A lot of fun to open it up. So that is probably what started me to do the channel, and then just so many along the way, different rungs of people meeting and getting to know, from, you know, definitely 2Ps and a Pop and franchise kicks, Sean Ryan Toys and Games, Cheap and Nerdy, Pop Couple, Mystery Pop Theater. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And people like that help inspire me, and then, you know, it's fun to help inspire other people. So that's what it is, you know, and I love to give back and love the giveaways, and that's probably it. So, what is my favorite Pop? And this is a very, very hard one. It was very tough for me to do this one, because this one and so many up, as you can see behind me, are there, and it's very tough. But I chose this one, and that, of course, is my Comic-Con Superman Sloth. As you know, Funko does not do a lot of faces, and they did with Sloth, with the mouth. It is one of the movies I grew up with as a kid. It was one of my favorites. And Sloth is one of my favorite characters. I remember watching it with my mother, my grandmother, my sister, and it's just a movie that has a great meaning to me. Yeah, it's just something I grew up with. I loved it. I remember going to the theater and watching it with my mother. So, yes, that is my favorite pop. That is why I started collecting, and that is why I made a channel. Hopefully you'll like it. I'm an invader. Thank you so much for the opportunity. This is Luau, guys. Signing in, signing out.
So I got a notification on Instagram a couple days ago that I had a message from I'm an Invader, and so I, checked the message, and she asked me to film a short 3-minute segment, which I don't know if it's possible because I like to ramble and just talk. But basically asking me, why I started collecting and why I enjoy collecting Funkos, and so that's what we're gonna do. The first question was, what got you into collecting? So I've always been a collector of something. My addiction is Star Wars figures, pretty much from the time I could walk, essentially. I've collected Star Wars figures, and then, you hit up the flea markets and stuff like that, and you find the older ones, and it's just, it's fun to me. But what got me into collecting Funkos was there's simply so much that you can choose from. I mean, you have your ad icons, Marvel, Game of Thrones, movies. There's just a whole wide range of pops, and they put out pops on the daily almost, it feels like. So, there's always going to be something new to collect, and I think that's really cool. But I would always go to the store, grocery shop and things like that, and I'd run over to wherever they had the pops, and I would just kind of check them out. And I never really considered myself much of a collector up here until recently. I would only grab the onesies and twosies that I thought were cool. And when I actually started collecting, I think I only had 8 or 9 pops in my collection. So I couldn't really consider myself much of a collector. Like I said, I would just grab the onesies and twosies up here until recently. I think it was like late March, so it's like middle of June, so it's probably been about 3 months since I started collecting, and I can say I probably have over 200. So in that short 3-month time frame, I probably bought almost 190 pops. What really pushed me to collect, though, buying them on the regular, was Derek and Melanie over at Funkaholics Anonymous. They kind of started their channel. And a little history, me and Derek worked at Target together back when I was in high school. This was probably 7 or 8 years ago. So I've known Derek for a little while. And when they kind of started their channel, it kind of motivated me to kind of start, because I'd been looking to start a new YouTube channel for a while, just to do something else. And this kind of was like my in, I guess you could say. And it kind of drove me to start that channel, and kind of drove me to start collecting. And then why I love collecting them, I kind of already answered that question. Like I said, you have a whole different variety, that you can collect. And like I said, they put them out all the time. So, I feel like I'm never going to run out of different pops to collect. Last thing, before I kind of end my little short video, I have no idea how long I've been rambling on. I'm just kind of going to show you some of my personal favorite pops that I've been able to acquire over the past couple months. Disclaimer, my 3 favorite pops are all from the same line, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. So the first one is going to be the Metallic Night King, and unfortunately none of these I was actually able to pick up myself. I actually had to order these from either Mercari or different YouTubers. Next one is going to be just the Iron Throne, the New York Comic Con exclusive. And then the last one, you can probably take a guess already, it is the Metallic Night King on the throne. So anyway guys, that's going to wrap up my little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time.